What's going on, everybody? It is the Luau back at it once again with a brand new At the Movie review. Today, Toy Story 4. Coming right at you. Alright guys, welcome to the channel. I am the Luau, back at it once again. We're going to get to the movie review for Toy Story 4, which we just saw. But before that, if you're new to the channel and you like what you see, you like Funkos, you like shoes, you like a little bit of everything, you like some movie reviews every now and then, hit that like button. And you definitely want to hit that subscribe button and see all the stuff that's on the horizon for us. And you want to ding that notification bell to be alerted whenever a new video drops. We do Funkos, we do shoes, and every now and then, when the movie strikes, we will do a movie review. I think this is our 5th one at the movie review. We will get into Toy Story 4. We'll get into the review. Then we will show you a giveaway that is based off of this movie and off this video. Very cool details there. After that, we'll get into a little bit of the spoilers. But I'll let you know before the spoilers come. I will let you know. But before we get into the spoilers, we'll end with the spoilers. I'll give you my opinion of where I sort of rank this Toy Story movie with the other three. And everything like that. But don't worry, before spoilers, I will let you know. All right, so let's hit it. Let's talk about this. I have my little notes. Toy Story 4, went and saw it. A very good movie. They have said this is the last one. There won't be any more Toy Stories after this one. And, you know, it definitely is cool. I mean, the first one was back in 1995. That was Toy Story 1, which revolutionized, put Pixar on the map. Tom Hanks and Tim Allen, I mean, just, they already were big stars. It blew them up even more, and all the characters that were in it. You know, it was just a beautifully done movie. 4 years later came Toy Story 2, which I thought was one of my favorites of the whole series. I loved it. It was great. It brought in Jessie and Bullseye, and just really was an awfully well done movie. Then they took a little bit of a break, and, you know, maybe there wasn't any plans to do another one. But in 2010, now there were some shorts and everything like that in between. But then in 2010 came Toy Story 3. And you got the feeling maybe that was the end one. Of course, giving it over to Andy, passing off the toys to Bonnie, the whole Lotso story, which I thought was really well done. I love that. But here we are, Toy Story 4. What I can tell you about it so far is it really does wrap it up. It really wraps it up in a beautiful bow. Yeah, so first off, let's talk about the cast. Of course you have Tom Hanks. Of course you have Tim Allen. Keegan-Michael Key, who plays Ducky. If you're familiar of Kenan and Peele, the comedy group, you will know who they are. Of course, Jordan Peele also is playing Bunny. They are a funny duo together, as funny as you see on their skits and everything like that. And their comedy, they're just as funny as Bunny and Ducky. Seriously, very cool. They come in probably about mid of the movie, in that range. Great comic duos. They have some cutaway scenes with some visions. It is tremendously funny. It is awesome. Really, really great. Keanu Reeves as Duke Kaboom. Another great character. Comes in about midway of the movie, maybe a little bit before that. Just really, really funny. Great job by Keanu Reeves on that one. Really loved it. Christina Hendricks will play Gabby, who sort of maybe is viewed as the semi-villain in the movie. I mean, there's really not necessarily a villain, but very cool. There's also some slight references to Goosebumps, and you'll see when you see the movie what I mean by that. That's what my kids said. Where's R.L. Stein? You know, because they saw the first Goosebumps movie, and there's a character that just reminds them of that. You know, other ones you have in there, you have Ally Mackey as Giggle McDimples, another funny character with Bo Peep. Speaking of Bo Peep, Amy Potts comes back, who voiced Bo in Toy Story 1 and 2. She comes back for this one, very cool there. Tony Hale plays the voice of Forky, and everyone wants to know the story of Forky. They totally explain the story of Forky. It is very funny. Forky is very funny. You know, and that's really the center of the movie, is Woody, is Forky, and it's just, Forky's very funny, very funny. I thought he would be good. He truly was really, really good. I really enjoyed him. Jay Hernandez plays Bonnie's dad. Of course, Jay Hernandez, we all know, Suicide Squad, Magnum P.I. Joan Cusack comes back and voices Jesse. Bonnie Hunt comes back and voices Dolly. Christian Shale voices Trixie. You have a lot of funny. Carl Weathers comes back and voices Combat Carl. Now, Combat Carl came in back, and I think it was 2013 when they did Toy Story of Terror. And that's when Bonnie, and I think it was just her mom. I don't think it was her dad. I think this is the first movie that introduces Bonnie's dad, I think. Don't quote me on that, but I believe. They go to a motel, and there's a lizard, and the lizard kidnaps the toys, and they're being sold. That's where you're introduced to Combat Carl and Combat Carl Jr. So Combat Carl is in this movie. It is a very small piece. It's almost like a cameo, but he is in it. So no Combat Carl Jr. though, just Combat Carl. There might be a picture or something like that of Jr., but no voice of that one. But Carl Weathers does come back to voice Combat Carl. You have Don Rickles, who, of course, Potato Head. How can you forget that? Estelle Harris, another great comedic. Think of the Seinfeld and George's mom on that one. She comes back to voice Mrs. Potato Head. Who else? Buttercup comes back. Wallace Shawn, John Ratzenberger both come back. Blake Clark. All of them are back in their normal voices. A lot of cameos as well. Laurie Metcalf comes back to voice Andy's mom, and I'll tell you what that is as well. And there's a couple other people that make some little cameo pieces with their voices. So the movie starts off going back basically 9 years. It basically takes you back to right after Toy Story 2. Because if you remember Toy Story 3, Bo Peep is gone. They never explain where Bo Peep went. This is how the movie opens up. It does explain, and there's a little story of how Bo Peep goes. You see Andy's mom at the house. It sort of takes place right after Toy Story Part 2, and you get to understand what happened to Bo Peep, because you didn't really understand that. They didn't explain that in Part 3. So it goes forward to that story and then goes to present day. And I would say it probably doesn't pick up more than a year after Toy Story 3, I would think. Bonnie is getting ready to start kindergarten. She goes to her orientation for kindergarten. She's starting to play with the other toys, and Woody's there. But, Woody's sort of getting left behind a little bit. And that's sort of where it all starts. And they're getting ready for kindergarten. They go on a road trip. And that is where the whole story goes. And the story takes place in basically this little town. And that's where you're introduced to Gabby Gabby and Duke Kaboom, Bunny and Ducky, because there's a little town and there's also a fair going on at the same town. And it's really cool. Woody's walking, he sees a light, and eventually catches up and sees Bo Peep again. Of course, Bo and Woody, they were always sort of that, that couple in Part 1 and Part 2. And he really missed her, you could tell in Part 3. And that's really the story is. You get to meet Giggle McDimples, the owls, because if you remember Bo Peep was a light. So it was Bo Peep and 3 sheep, part of a light. That's what Bo Peep was. And you get to sort of see her sheep, you get to see where's Bo's been doing now. You meet Giggle McDimples, which is really cool how you meet her and what she sort of is. It references a toy in a sense. I really like that. That's very cool. And, the whole gang is there. Eventually Buzz comes out to find out where Woody is. You get to understand Forky and what Forky, is. You'll see one from the clip, which is one of my funny parts from one of the previews, is where Forky's sitting there. I'm not a toy. I'm used for soup and salad and sometimes chili. And out the window he goes. And, that's where the fun always starts. And then comes Gabby Gabby. It's all a real whole big story. And at the end, it really ties it to a great little bow. It is a great movie. Part 3 was the first one my son was ever into. He got to see that one in the movie theater. Of course, Part 1 and 2, all my kids have seen it. They've watched them tons of times. But that was the first one he got to see, and now my daughter, who missed that one, this is the first one she got to see. She loved it. She gave it a 10. Actually, she said a million out of 10. But she really loved it. I thought it was very good. I thought it was really well done. I know I was expecting something very emotional, like sad, when Iron Man dies. We all know that one. But it wasn't that. It was more of a happy story. It was more of a happy ending to really tie up all the characters together. And it does end sort of that way. And it's very cool. Yeah, I mean, it is just really well done. I highly recommend, if you've seen 1 and 2 and 3, your kids love it, go see it. If your kids haven't seen the other ones, they are still going to enjoy the movie. It makes a little bit more sense if you've seen the other ones, but they're still going to enjoy the movie. That's just where it is. I highly recommend go see it. It'll be a big hit, there's no doubt about it. Cool previews in the beginning. There is a new Pixar movie coming out. Very cool, and I definitely want to check out that one. And also they do the new preview for Frozen as well, Frozen Part 2, which of course my daughter was all about that. So that's really without giving too much away, that's the story of it. It really, I think, wraps up in a bow. I mean, they've really come out and said, really, this is the last Toy Story movie. I think I believe them. I really do. I mean, it's on different people are doing it, but it still works. You know, the focal point really truly is Bo Peep, Forky, and Woody, and Buzz comes in there at the end. I mean, all the Rex and you know, Bullseye and all the other characters, they're there, and they make, you know, there's parts for them, but they're not the focal point of the movie. Like, you know, in Part 3 where they're all sort of together and everything like that. This movie really focuses on Woody and Bo and Buzz, really. I mean, that's really the focal point of the whole movie. So they're all in there, but, and you know, you're going to have the comic reliefs. I mean, Duke Kaboom was awesome with Keanu Reeves. Great job there. You also had, of course, you know, Bunny and Ducky, who, I mean, they're very funny. If you've seen the two of them together, Keenan and Peele, they're a funny duo, and they really come through in the movie the same way. So it was awesome they were able to get them to do it. So that's, before we get into any spoilers, that was the movie. Where I would rate it, I mean, all of them are up there. I mean, there's not really truly a bad Pixar movie. They're all great movies. As far as looking at Toy Story, I always view Toy Story 1 and 2 right there. I like Toy Story 2 just a little bit better than 1, but they're like A and B, 1A, 1B. Toy Story 3 was right there as well. I think that's like number 2, you know, 2A, and Toy Story 4, I put right there. It's like a 2B to me. Yeah, that's where I would put it. I just like the substance of a lot of the other ones a little bit more than this one. Just my opinion. Just my opinion. Yeah, 1 and 2 will always be the tops. And, you know, 3 was very good. This was very good, too. You got to go see it. It is a must-see. But that's where I would rank it. I would still put it down there as probably number 4. Yeah, just my opinion. So, let's do a little bonus before I get into some spoilers, as I will hit you with some spoilers for the movie. For the people that don't want to go see it, or your kids are older and they're not going to go see it, or anything like that. I'll throw some spoilers into it, just so you can, you know, hear it if you want to know more of the story. But first, let's talk about a giveaway. So, if we can get this video to 75 likes in a week by next Sunday, because next Sunday we go live always at the end, and 9:30 p.m. Eastern, we will do that. So, let's put a little bit of a giveaway to it. If we can get to 75 likes, we will give a winner. We will pick a winner off this video. So you have to comment on this video. That is what will get you entered into it. 75 likes, and we'll give it away. We will give a winner a Buzz. This is a floating Buzz, Amazon exclusive. We will give away, how about a Gabby Gabby? We will also give away, this will all be one prize to one winner, Bo Peep with Giggles McDimples. Very cool there. Bo with her staff. Also, a little of the arm. You will understand that little patch on the arm a little later when you watch the movie. And finally, we will give a Sheriff Woody holding Forky. This is a Hot Topic exclusive as well. So a winner will get all 4 pops sent to you. All we have to do is 75 likes to the video and comment on the video. That will get you entered in. We'll do a comment picker if we get 75 likes next Sunday, 9:30 p.m. So about a week to go. Can we do it? Hope you can. If you want to stay for the video, this is where I will tell you to end the video if you don't want to know any spoilers. We'll keep the spoilers kind of brief, you know, 3 minutes or something like that. But if you want to stay, please stay, and we'll get to some spoilers if you're not going to get a chance to see it in the theater. You want to know sort of what happens and everything like that. So, here we go. I'll give you a few seconds. How about 5 more? All right, so if you're staying, you want to know some spoilers. So I'll run through the spoilers. If your kids are older and you're not going to see it, you're going to wait till video, or you just want to know what happened, this is it. I do think the movie ties it up into a nice bow. So the movie starts off with a great story of how Bo Peep got missing. You know, what happened to Bo Peep, and in the essence, you know, Andy's sister didn't want the light anymore, and basically gave it to somebody else. In the end, Bo Peep ends up at this antique store. Eventually, she leaves the antique store, and she's quote unquote one of those lost toys. But I mean, she has a group with her. She has her 3 sheep that are together. She has Giggles McDimples. And basically, in the old toy store, that's where Woody goes to look for Forky when he flies out the window. They're going into the little town, and he sees the lamp, which is Bo's lamp, coming from this antique store. And he looks. He goes in there. That's where he meets Gabby Gabby. And what Gabby Gabby's deal is she's looking for a voice box because she is an old 1950s toy, just like Woody, and she sees he has a voice box. She wants the voice box because her voice box was always broke, and she thinks if she can replace her voice box, she will have that love of a toy because she was broken and she sat in an antique store forever. So that was the whole thing of getting Woody's voice box. Eventually, he runs into Bo, and yeah, they basically have to go back and get Forky from Gabby Gabby. Eventually, Gabby Gabby gets a voice box. Woody gives it to her because he wants Forky to go back. And Woody just basically, he's not being played with Bonnie anymore. Bonnie is sort of leaving him in the closet and playing with all the other toys, taking his sheriff's badge off, putting it on Jesse. So he just feels, you know, unused, unneeded, things like that. And then the movie goes on, and you get the story. You meet Duke Kaboom, which is a great little story. Sort of takes you back to part 2 as all the group of characters are sort of in this machine. So it takes you sort of a little version of, actually that's part 3, with Ken and everyone like that. Yeah, and there's a fair going on. There's some really funny antics of how they stop the car from moving on with Bonnie and her parents. And that's where you sort of get the funny parts with all the normal characters that you get. They're in the movie, but they're you know, they're not the main focal points of it, really, truly. You know, Buzz comes in, and it's really Buzz and Woody and Forky. Those are the main pieces in Bo. Those are the main pieces of the movie. In the end, basically, Gabby Gabby gets the voice box and thought that this one girl would love her, the granddaughter of the store owner, and they basically throw her. You know, she doesn't want her. In the end, Gabby Gabby finds a loving kid, and Woody's sitting there with Buzz, and Buzz says, "Don't worry, Bonnie's going to be okay." And at that point, you just know where it's going. Woody stays with Bo. Everyone else, Buzz and everyone, they say their goodbyes. They go with Bonnie. And yeah, Woody stays with Bo, also with Bunny and Ducky. And they stay and sort of travel with the carnival. And that's sort of basically how it ends. I will say at the end of the movie, because there is different clips. About 5 of them. 5 different clips that run towards the end credits. So you definitely want to stay and do that. That's sort of the essence of the movie. So if you're looking for one where the whole group is sort of all one big part of the movie, that's really not what this is. It's sort of a closure for Woody and the gang, and that's really truly what it is. Hopefully you like it. I thought it was very good. Now, I would still say it's my number 4 of the Toy Stories, but they're all excellent. They're Pixar's. Nothing bad is bad about Pixar. So that, in the nutshell, is sort of the spoilers. I highly recommend you see it. Your kids are going to love it. If you've seen 1, 2, and 3, you're going to love this one. You truly will. So I know I was hoping to see maybe Andy at college or something like that, but it's not. And it really wasn't what you thought, like a tearjerker or anything like that. I didn't think it was. It kind of just made you feel good. You know, Woody is going with who he should be with, as he's feeling not needed by Bonnie anymore. And yeah. That is the story, guys. So definitely go see it. Very good. A lot of great cameos by people. A lot of great voice actors. Keanu Reeves and everyone. Very excellent job. At the end of it, you'll love Forky. You really will. Forky is a great character. Cool thing about the movie theater when we went to see it is they actually let kids make their own Forky. Before the movie, they let it dry, and then the kids picked it up towards the end. I thought that was excellent. Shouts out Penn Cinema in Lidditz, Pennsylvania. That was a great thing to do. Hopefully your theater do something like that. Get in the giveaway, guys. Comment on this video, get it to 75 likes, and we're going to give away 4 pops, Toy Story pops. Some awesome stuff there. All right, guys, this is the Luau. Till next time, peace, love.